Hey beautiful beings, how are we all doing? So this is the first video that I have made in maybe 3 or 4 months. It's been a long time since I did my last video, but I wanted to give you an update on where I'm currently at and how off-grid living has gone for me. So for those of you who follow my journey on Facebook or Instagram, you will know where I've been, what I've been doing. If you just follow me on YouTube, then you'll be like, what is Lindsay talking about? Where has she been? So in April this year, I found a caravan. I bought a caravan and ended up living on a caravan site from June this year until, well, now I'm still living on it. So there's just a couple of things I want to share about it, because initially I was like, I knew I wanted to go off grid, and I knew that I didn't want to be in the system anymore, shall we say. So I bought the caravan, I left my home. I did not supply a forwarding address to any of the companies or any organisations. So there's some tips that I'm going to give you in this about how you can start to leave the system, but also a little bit I'm going to share about sort of my own journey and how living in a caravan has been, the pros, the cons, and everything and anything. So stay tuned and I will fill you in. Okay, so first of all, you have decided that you want to live off grid. You've decided that you want to leave the system, yeah? Which is awesome, but how do you actually go about doing it, okay? So sometimes it can feel really overwhelming, because you might think, oh my god, this is really difficult. You know, it's not that you're only dealing with leaving the system, but there's all these like beliefs as well in your mind. There's fears, there's the mental aspect of it and emotional aspect going on behind the scenes. So in your mind you might just be like, right, I'm going to leave my house and I'm going to live in a van, and for some people it's really easy, but for others it can feel really difficult. So the first thing to do when you decide that you want to leave the system or to go off grid is you declutter and you dejunk. And it is difficult. There's some stuff that might feel really sentimental to you, but this is a real opportunity to get rid of anything that you really do not need anymore, okay? So when I made the decision to leave my house, excuse me, when I made the decision, I decided I had carried around maybe 2,500 photographs and several photo albums, literally like a massive plastic box full of photos and albums. So the first thing I did was I went through those photos one by one and asked myself, do I really need to carry this around anymore? I had a massive fire and I burned a load of photos. So that was the first step. Then it's a bit like doing like Marie Kondo, you know, where you're tidying up stuff like, does this bring me joy? My clothes, yeah. What I realised was that, so I have put some stuff in storage. I do have a 9 and 6-year-old who did not want to give up a lot of their toys. And even though, you know, tried as I could, they wanted their toys put in storage. So I honoured that for them and I respected them. For myself, I was a bit more ruthless. So in terms of clothes, I was like, if it is not in season, if I do not need it now, it is going, yeah. I kept like one occasional dress, one pair of heels and one nice bag, just in case the opportunity ever does come up that I get to go out for a really nice dinner, or that I need to do like a good evening, like the spiritual journey, which I did last year, etc. But excuse me, I kept my summer stuff and I got rid of the majority of my winter clothing, with the idea that as I move into different seasons, then I will shop in the different charity shops according to that season. So generally I wear one pair of sandals in the summer, which are my Birkenstocks, and I have one pair of boots for the winter and a pair of trainers. So that's 3 pair of shoes. So if you're a massive shoe fiend or handbag fiend, you know, you need to really be like, right, why am I owning this stuff? Why am I holding on to this stuff? Yeah, what is it that I can get rid of? So I did a clothes declutter. For me, the most difficult thing to get rid of was books. Yeah, I'm a massive book hoarder. I don't know whether it's like because I feel like if I have all these books it makes me look really clever, or you know, I love knowledge. I love reading books and I love holding on to them. So that for me was probably the most difficult part of decluttering, dejunking. I got rid of all of my furniture because I was like, I'm not going to need it. The only furniture that I kept was my 42-inch TV and a double mattress, just in case. Like I said, the rest of the stuff is in plastic boxes, which is the kids' toys, some kitchen stuff, and some really, really old sentimental stuff, like books that I've written and stories that I wrote when I was 7 and 12, and you know, things that I really, really don't want to get rid of. So really think about the stuff that you have in your house. What can you get rid of? What do you not need to go off grid? So imagine yourself, you know, like where we live at the minute, it's a 4-berth caravan. Excuse me. It's 4-berth caravan, and there isn't that much space in it. Probably fit 20 books. But yeah, so think about what it is in your house that you have that you can't get rid of. And then whatever you feel you maybe cannot get rid of, ideally I would put that into storage if you can afford it in the short term, because what you don't want to do is get rid of stuff and then really regret it afterwards. So that's more of the personal stuff. So that's sort of like the first stage, if you like, of the going off grid. The second part is around bills and finances, which I will cover in a separate video. I'm starting to lose my voice already, but I'll cover that in another video. So how can you stop paying your council tax, your water bills, your TV license? You know, how can you still have access to the system but not be in it? So I will do that in a separate video, but I feel like for this one, it's very much around that first initial step into going off grid. The decluttering, the dejunking is massive. And like I said, what comes with that, it's not just that physical process going, right, I'm going to get rid of everything. There's a real mental and emotional as well stuff that goes on behind the scenes going, oh my god, you know, I've just done all that. And it's very cathartic, very releasing. But like I said, I'm starting to lose my voice now, so the next video that I will do will be how to exit the system in terms of the bills and the financial side of it. Okay, but for now I will leave that with you because I can't talk anymore, and I will see you in the next video.